Hey guys, welcome back to Pine Haven Acres. Today I am building a brooder box for our chicks that are going to hatch in 6 days. They are set to lock down in 3 days, and between that time span I don't have a lot of available hours to work on this brooder box. So today I need to try to get at least half of it done. This is kind of what I'm thinking. I went on Pinterest and took a few ideas that I liked and put it all together. So this is hopefully what it'll turn out to look like. It's all going to be enclosed in wood, and then the doors are going to be wire. This is the top of the framing. So I have 2 holes in the top for heat lamps to come through, and then this is like a bracing throughout the middle. This is the bottom of the brooder box, and then this here is just the side and the measurements. It'll be about 6 feet by 2 feet and 2 feet tall. And then this is what I'm thinking for the heat lamps. I'm going to build a wire cage all the way around a space that a heat lamp could fit in. So in case it falls or something like that happens, it won't be able to get down where the chicks are going to be. And also it will allow a little bit of protection from the chicks getting in contact with the heat lamp directly. So this is hopefully what it'll turn out to be. And yeah, let's get started. All of the 2x4s are cut now. These are roughly 8 feet long, so I'm going to measure and cut them down to 6 feet because that's the length of our brooder. And the leftover 2 feet I'm going to use for the height and width pieces. I did 5 2x4s, and I might need to cut one more in half for the doors, but I'll wait to do that until we get there. Alright, I have 7 pieces cut now that are 6 feet long, and I'm looking back at my paper to see if I need any more 6-foot pieces or if I can start on my 2-foot pieces. So this is what I do when I build rabbit cages and any other cage. I draw a rough draft here, and most of the design is in my head, or I make it up as I go along. But I just want to make sure that if I make everything to this design, I'm not wasting any lumber by cutting it down too far. So I just double check a few times as I go along. So right now I need to see how many 6-foot pieces I will need. So I have 1 here, then 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll need a 6th piece here. It's not going to be 6 feet, but it's a long chunk of wood. This is just to make the front section a little bit taller, so when I open up the doors the wood shavings don't fall out. And then I'll need another semi-long piece here on top as bracing. So that'll cover my 7. Looks like I can start on my 2-foot pieces. Now I'm not going to cut them exactly 2 feet. It's going to be a little bit shorter than that because I want my outside measurement from the front to the back to be 2 feet. So to do that math, I drew here what I'm talking about. So these pieces on the ends are my 6-footers, and they are each 1.5 inches wide. So that would be 3 inches in total, and they're going to sandwich my smaller board here that I still have to cut out. So if I want my total to be 2 feet, then I'll just subtract 3 inches from 2 feet, and that'll get me my measurement for these smaller boards that are being sandwiched by the longer ones. And then same thing goes for these ones here. And then when I get to like these smaller pieces or this framing up here to go around the heat lamp, I'll just have to measure the stuff around it and then fit those pieces in. So this is what I do when I do rabbit cages, like I said, so I'm familiar with building in this aspect, but just do it as I go along. So after I get those 2-foot pieces cut out, then we can start assembling. It's the next day. I worked on putting these pieces up here and the bottom piece. So the door is almost framed out. I just need one more piece coming up in the middle here. I'm down to about 5 feet left out of my ripped 2x4, so I'm gonna have to rip another one, maybe 2 more depending on how much more framing I want to do, and then for the legs. So I'm gonna start working on the top now. I'm going to get some pine boards and measure and cut out these squares here on the ends, and then I need to figure out what material I have for the back, because I might need to put in another piece of framing on the back so that I can screw in my plywood pieces. I'm stopping in to give you guys another quick update on the Brooder. I'm running out of camera space, so I'm going to have to just start giving you guys updates instead of showing you my building progress as I build. So it's been another day, so this is day 3. I'm hoping I can finish up this build today, and then we'll get the chicks in a few days when they hatch. So some updates. I finished the top, and I did end up changing my design with this where the heat lamps go, because originally there was more space here on the end and these heat lamp holes were more in the middle, but I decided if I was to put a divider wall in the middle, so to have 2 separate sections in the Brooder, it would be better to have the heat lamp on one side rather than in the middle of each pen. And then I found some leftover polycarbonate greenhouse plastic, so I cut that out so I have like a window on top here and then solid on the bottom, and then I put another section here in the front so I can see the chicks while they're in there, and then the door, like I said, is going to be wire, so I'll be able to see them through there. And I built up this front section so the wood shavings don't fall out. I'm still trying to come up with an idea for the back. I might cut another 2x4 in half and put it across here just in the middle so I can attach some plywood pieces. I don't have a big sheet of plywood, so I'm just working with scrap pieces at this point, which are a bit smaller. So if I do put one 2x4 section in the middle, then it'll be another place to screw in. And then I finished the floor. This is not plywood, it's a thinner board. I'm not sure what it's called. And it has been snowing and raining the last couple days, so I haven't been able to work on it, and the wood is going to need to dry out before we put the chicks in. So trying to get this done today so it can dry out in the shed for a few more days before the chicks are ready to go in. But that is the current update. Here's the next update. I am almost done. I just have to do the one door here, and then it is 100% complete. I added legs, this door here, I finished the back, I put in a divider wall, and I got the wire cages here for the heat lamps done. So that's what those look like. I'll show you this middle wall. So this part down here is removable in case I need a large section for the chicks, and then the last couple inches here is permanent. This is what it looks like on the inside. And there's the back. So I'm going to bring this down to the shed and set it up for the chicks. It's really cold outside. We had another cold snap. Later on next week it'll be in the mid to upper 40s, so hopefully the snow will melt. But I need to get at least the one side ready for the chicks, and then I'll work on the other door in a few more days when it gets a little bit warmer. Here is the final product. I got the last door on and the chicks are in there. So here are the chicks. They're a little over 2 weeks old. And I have another batch in the incubator. Right now, as far as I can tell, we only have one rooster in this round, so that's good. And then I had this pan here, and I put some wire over it so they don't get the water all full of wood shavings. And they've been hopping up there just fine to drink, and then I have their food right here. And that is elevated as well so they don't get wood shavings mixed in. I did keep these guys in the house when they first hatched because it was really cold outside. And now that they have some feathers growing in, they're able to stay warmer better and more easily. So I moved them out here, and I think the heat lamp is working well. I've been clipping the side of the heat lamp onto the wire to kind of hold it at certain angles and heights that I want it, and then on top it's attached with a chain. So everything is working great, and I think the animals like it. In this side I have a New Zealand and her babies. They're very adorable. So, very happy with how the brooder turned out, and thank you guys for watching.